Our next reader is Jack Stanton, who I saw come in. I know he's here, right? Okay. Jack recently completed his MFA coursework at Rosemont College and is currently working on a book of personal essays with the working title Blueprint. He's also a teaching assistant at Rosemont, working with students in the developmental writing program. In another role, he has been a USPTA certified tennis professional for over 20 years. Please welcome Jack Stanton. Get the top.
Thank you, Carla. This is also a 0 dead people story. Averages are bumping upwards.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm in a kind of an interesting phase now. I'm in the limbo period between completing my classwork, handing in my thesis, and starting whatever the next phase is. So I'm a little out of touch, and I looked at the email from Tori the other day that said, creative reading night. On tonight's list is Jack Stanton. I said, oh, no, that's not possible. I'm not reading till November. But that was Tuesday. So. This is an excerpt from a personal essay that I wrote about when I was 17 years old and working at the local tennis club. And I had a 19-year-old friend that I worshipped by the name of Lenny O'Rourke. And the story, because it's an excerpt, I'm giving you a little, the story set in the town of Marion, Massachusetts, which is sort of a booze-soaked, preppy little enclave. And anyway, so we pick up the story with Lenny and young Jack. Even though he was underage, Lenny was fearless and hirsute, so he was the go-to guy for booze. Most of my alcoholic misadventures that summer, and there were many, were facilitated by the acting skills and bravado of Lenny O'Rourke. Lenny and I didn't really hang out much together after work. His crowd was mostly comprised of townies, and I generally partied with people from my private neighborhood, Piney Point. His group was a little more hardcore. I was honored when he'd come out our way, but I could tell he wasn't impressed with my preppy crew. We did routinely compare drunken notes, however. Despite the time pressure in the morning, I was often able to slip into a trance while sweeping the courts, recalling the previous night's events and rehearsing my stories for Lenny. When we first splash into the water, I note the pleasure and danger of swimming drunk. Then we're laughing in the cockpit of someone's large yacht. Headlights swing into the parking lot. Instinctively, we all drop over the side and swim in different directions. A spotlight sweeps the water. A voice calls out, I'm hanging naked from the stern rail of a 36-foot sloop to avoid making water noise. My ski-dipping accomplices hang from other boats of varying sizes around me. From time to time, the boats swing a little, and we hand over hand it silently along the rails to stay hidden. Half of a six-pack of cans tethered to my wrist floats beside me. Who's out there? The ensuing silence is immaculate. The only sound is waves lightly licking the sides of hulls. I know you're out there. Get in here right now, the voice commands. Still silence. Despite the piles of clothing and vehicles, we're invisible. Like barnacles, we're one with the vessels. The light continues to scan and the voice yells, you will be in serious trouble. There's something unconfident about the voice, like it's perplexed by the lack of feedback. It really isn't sure anyone is out there. And I don't fear the voice, because I know my parents and their friends will be proud of us. Their voices float in my subconscious. Phew, you mix 'em strong. Look for that magic potion, please, doctor. Your father's so funny when he's tipsy. Get that man a martini, Jackie. What are you drinking, my boy? He looks old enough to me. Don't move, I whisper to my comely shipmate. He's about to leave. We better go in, she says. No. She stays. But there's always one. Yes, the one who takes their Sunday school morality lessons to heart. Not one Puritan colony still thrives in Massachusetts. Too much good behavior is ruinous. We had it. That voice was confused and ready to turn back and drive away into the night. After all, he was only responding to a noise complaint. I suppose in any group of 8 or 9 people, one is going to crack when facing legal authority. The one who craves a pat on the head for doing the right thing. That's flawed thinking. Nothing good ever happens to skinny dipping goody-goodies. Sometimes the best thing to do is stay bad until it's safe to be good again. Splash, splash, kick, stroke. One of the girls swims around into sight and sets a course for the dock. Seeing her bare ass reflecting the moonlight is quite possibly the greatest disappointment of the summer. God damn it, Nicole, you cannot be doing that, I say to no one. Phosphorus sparkles radiate around her in the dark water as she breaststrokes her way to the dock. What is she thinking? Gosh, I can swim in, hop onto the dock, stark naked, and have a male cop peruse my buoyant young breasts with his flashlight. Christ. Not only does she swim in, she proceeds to tell the cop who's still in the water. She rats us out. Ah, yes, many are the blessings reserved for the rodent. Come on in, Jack. He knows you're out there. I reluctantly begin stroking my way the 50 yards or so through the black water to the dock. Numbed by the liquor in my blood, I'm mesmerized by the phosphorus around my hands. Seeing bodies on the dock makes me dread the moment when I will rise naked from the water. I briefly consider turning and swimming for the open sea. I could break away, swim the mile or two across the bay, and crawl onto someone's beach to dry my body in the morning sun. I climb the ladder onto the dock to join the others. Emerging from my trance, I finished sweeping up, dashing around ladies to sweep the lines as they hit their warm-up shots. "The courts are beautiful, Jackie," said Mrs. Rogers, the club mama bear. She had yet to receive word that I was no longer to be referred to as Jackie. Later, I sat in the pro shop and retold my midnight tale to Lenny. "Look at the bright side, young Jack. You gave one of Marion's finest enough fantasy material for a lifetime," he said. I really think he was about to leave. Lenny stood shuffling cards on the display counter. "I don't doubt it. Was it Roy or Rufus?" Rufus. I sucked on a pineapple orange juice and stared through the window screen at the ladies running around in the bright light. "He definitely was confused," Lenny said. "The sun does not shine in that man's head." "Yeah, old doofus probably didn't notice the overwhelming evidence against us. There were only 5 cars in the lot and a pile of clothes on the dock." "You should have come out speaking in tongues like Manson just to freak him out." "As in?" "Oh, you know, something like, 'I drank the blood of the giant squid as Jesus commanded.'" "You're truly odd, Lenny." "Thank you. So what did Rufus do?" "He told us to get dressed. Everyone was wrestling with their clothes and laughing because we were soaked and everything stuck to us. We hopped around on the dock like Indians. Rufus told us to say our names out loud. Then he told us we were guilty of disturbing the peace and indecent exposure, but he let us go with a warning." "Wow, must be nice to have influence, Stanton." "So did he offer Nicole a ride home?" he said, tipping an imaginary Groucho Marx cigar. she definitely had his baton wagging. Thank you.